When I started doing this, I noticed a very big difference in the way my hair was growing and the way my ends were looking. Protective styles and low manipulative hairstyles. How I use protective styles to grow my hair. But not every style is for you, especially when you want to grow your hair. Thanks and complex. Most times why protective styles do not work for some people is that hi guys, welcome to another video. I'll be talking about protective styles and how it has helped me grow long hair. I'll be sharing practical ways you can use protective styles to grow long and healthy hair. All there is to know about protective styles, what it is, the importance, what kind of protective styles to do, what to do before, during and after your protective styles, the preparation, maintenance and takedown processes. So if you're up for this kind of content, keep watching. Protective styling is very important for type 4 hair, whether it be type 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D, whatever type of type 4 hair there is. Protective styling is very important for it because of the nature of our hair. Due to how delicate our natural hair is, it is very much prone to breakage, meaning that it is fragile. Whoever told you that natural hair is stubborn, natural hair is hard, but natural hair is brittle. You have to treat it like a baby because it is fragile. Our hair is coily and kinky, and when it shrinks, I don't know if you have noticed, it's very much hard to manage my shrunken hair than it is to manage my stretched hair. So what is a protective style? A protective style is any style that you do to keep your ends tucked away and minimize manipulation. Emphasis on tucked away. So any style at all that makes the ends of your hair, so now the ends of your hair are the parts away from the roots of your hair. The roots of your hair is like here, and these are the ends of your hair. You are not having to touch your hair on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. Any style at all that you do to leave your hair alone for a while is a protective style. I mean, for at least a month, because you'll be doing protective styles for 2 weeks. I don't get it. I'm not here to fight. Have you ever done box braids and you can see you can do like a 1,000,001 hairstyles from it? I mean, there's a lot you can do with every protective style you have on, and you're not losing out. Your appearance gets to change from time to time. There is a difference between protective styles and low manipulative hairstyles. So now, some people may want to say that protective styles are low manipulative hairstyles. That is definitely true. All protective styles are low manipulative hairstyles, but not all low manipulative hairstyles are protective styles. So what do I mean by protective styles and what do I mean by low manipulative hairstyles? Protective styles are somewhat long-term protective styles in that you can do them for about 2 months, but low manipulative hairstyles are hairstyles that you can do for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You can do low manipulative hairstyles. So what are the examples of protective styles and what are the examples of low manipulative hairstyles? So I'll start with protective styles. So the protective styles that are long term, we have knotless braids, we have box braids, we have twist, be it mini twist, every kind of 2-strand twist. There is the Senegalese twist, the Mali twist, kinky twist, all kind of twists you can do with different kinds of extensions. They are there. We have bantu knots, we have your wigs, and under your wigs we have the cornrows. These are somewhat protective styles that people can carry for a long period of time. Low manipulative hairstyles. Examples of low manipulative hairstyles. Cornrows would also fall in this because you can take out your cornrows 2 weeks later because they look rough. Buns, we have flat twists, we have chunky twists. These are low manipulative hairstyles. Here I saw of someone who did an afro and called it a low manipulative hairstyle. Personally, I don't think that an afro is a low manipulative hairstyle because you have manipulated your hair like twice in the day, because first off you want to fluff off your afro, and after that you would go ahead to do a nighttime routine or like to put it back in twist, and all of that you have manipulated it, so it's not a low manipulative hairstyle. So get it that a low manipulative hairstyle is one that you would do for a short period of time and it will just keep your hair away for a while. So low manipulative, just as the word is, low manipulative, that's like no to low manipulation, and that's it. I hope I have been able to establish the fact that all protective styles are low manipulative hairstyles, but not all low manipulative hairstyles are protective styles. So you have to be aware that The fact that your hair is in a protective style is not an excuse for neglect. A lot of us, me inclusive, I'm not removing myself from the category, because I know that I'm one of the people that when I do a hairstyle, I tend to forget my hair. You see, when I just do not let braid, just know that this hair has gone like on is on vacation, and I'll bring it back in the next 2 to 3 months. Hair prep before protective styling. So how do you prepare your hair for a protective style? The first thing that you have to do is that your hair has to be detangled. If your hair is not detangled before a protective style, it's going to become a hot mess. The hairstyle will probably not even look so good because your hair is not detangled, and you will have like chunks of knots and tangles, and it will be really bad for you when you're taking it down, because your hair would have matted some more and you had stuff to detangle before that you did not detangle. It's like a lot of things all at once. Your problem is not one, your problem is two, or maybe more than that. Secondly, you want to make sure that your hair is moisturized before every protective style. I feel this is one part that we may tend to forget, because I mean, honestly, I am always so overjoyed when I'm getting braids done. You'll be happy that you want to leave your hair alone and not have to do it and not have to manipulate your hair. But we tend to forget that we need to moisturize the hair before it gets into a protective style. I have a video on how I moisturize my hair. It's an old video, but it's old but gold, you know. You can go and watch it, and I really hope that that helps you. When I started doing this, I noticed a very big difference in the way my hair was growing and the way my ends were looking after protective styles. So have you ever been to the salon, and then whoever is trying to make your hair, I don't know, these Nigerian women, they go ahead with the really tiny comb, and then they go ahead to kind of remove all the like the bulk of, so you know how like your hair will be stretched at this point, then getting to this point there'll be like a bulk of matted hair, then they would use that tiny comb to try to comb it out. That's like the comb that they are trying to use to part the hair. They will now use it and comb it out, and by the time they comb it, you will see all your friends on the floor. The edges that you are, or the ends that you are trying to manage, you will see them quickly start on the floor. That's usually how it is, or that's usually how it has been for me, because at the end of the day, I would have knots, I would have split end, which would travel up my hair strands and cause me breakage. But the moment I started stretching my hair before every protective style, I noticed a huge difference in that whenever I have my hair in protective style and I take it down, my hair remains stretched, number one, and number two, I would see that my ends still remain fairly the same. But that time, after every protective style, I would be feeling like my ends are too rough and I need to trim them off, because my hair has gone through like a lot of trauma to put it in that protective style. And there are various ways you can stretch your hair. The first one, and for me the most efficient, is blow drying. I blow dry my hair, I get the stretch, like a very, very good stretch. But second to that is the African threading method, and if you want a tutorial on that, you can just say it right down in the comment section. I was going to do one anyways, but still say it in the comment section. So this is the hierarchy: blow drying for me, then African threading, then after African threading you have braids. They give me the next stretch after African threading. Then you have your twists before you have like cornrows and the rest of the other things that you can do to give your hair stretch. So just make sure that your hair is stretched and freshly washed before every protective style. You don't want to protective style dirty hair. You want to make sure that your hair is freshly washed, detangled, moisturized, and stretched. But after a while of doing a protective style, my scalp gets itchy. So if I do not wash my hair before I do the protective style, it's going to happen sooner. And before you know, I'll be feeling like I need to take this down, or I need to do this, I need to do that, causing the protective style not to last as long as it should. So for long-lasting protective style, you need to make sure that your hair is clean, and you make sure that your hair is detangled and your hair is stretched. You want to make sure that your maintenance is top-notch. When it comes to taking care of your protective style, you want to make sure that you're looking at your roots, your scalp, and you're looking at your edges, and you're looking at your hair shaft. So I don't know whether you have noticed, but in braids our hair kind of stick out of the braids sometimes, and when your hair is getting older you notice that your hair is sticking more out of the braids. So this is why you are advised to moisturize the strands of your braids, and to moisturize the strands of your twists, moisturize the strands of whatever hair you have on at the moment, because this helps moisturize the hair that is sticking out of those braids. When it has contact with your clothes, have contact with your pillows, have contact with stuff, they will tend to break off when they are dry. But when they are moisturized, it kind of helps it to cushion any kind of breakage that could come from it rubbing on any other material. Your scalp, very important. You need to make sure that you oil your scalp when necessary. You don't want to do it all the time because you do not want product buildup, which will cause you to want to take down the protective style before time. So you want to make sure that you have like a systematic way of applying your oils, let's say 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Personally, I focus on my edges because that has always been a problem area for me, especially when I do protective styles. I tend to kind of lose some edges. Some edges go away on vacation sometimes. So I try my best to make sure I moisturize my edges when I can and how I can. You need to have like a nighttime routine just like you have with your regular hair. And one of the things I do during my nighttime routine is, so I have this virgin hair fertilizer. Maybe I'll just put it somewhere around here. It's like a product that I kind of started using because it has like a pepperminty feel. It improves blood circulation around that area, and it has really helped to improve the growth of my edges. Don't forget to put your satin scarf or your satin bonnet on. You can actually change your pillowcase to a satin pillowcase. You can just use a satin pillowcase, because when you use a satin pillowcase, it's kind of easy. You don't need to forget to not put on anything. You just go to bed straight. But make sure that you remember to change that pillowcase, because it can accumulate a lot of dust and debris from your hair, and without you knowing, you would cause more problems for yourself. Your hair can start smelling in protective styles. Some of us tend to carry our protective styles for so long, and that we do not notice that the protective style has become a nuisance to the society. You and me both. There are some hairstyles that are quite easy to wash in, so just try to wash your hair as much as possible and make sure that you do not carry around nuisance. Next up, we have the takedown process. So when you are taking down your protective styles, you need to be very careful, especially when you have carried your protective style for more than a month, going to 2 months or 3 months. You can as well start locks during that period, because your hair is under no form of manipulation at all, and just in a certain way you can decide to take that form and shape. That's why you see that when you take down your braids, you see that it has the form of a braid or has the form of a twist. That is because our hair tends to take the shape that we leave it in for a very long time. So you want to be careful as you're taking down your braids. You want to be careful as you're taking down your twist. Most importantly, I don't know if this happens to any other person, but whenever I'm taking down my twist, it's always like a hassle. Like when I want to take down my twist, I have to be really careful because detangling it is another thing, especially mini twist. And I've had someone ask me before, that is mini twist actually a protective style, in that it kind of breaks the hair when they are taking it down. That's because you do not know how to take it down. You need to be extremely patient and careful with your hair when you are doing protective styles. This is a long-term style. You have taken it for a while, so you need to be careful. All the detangling that you have not detangled for 2-3 months, you will do it in that day. So you have to be really careful. Don't rush. Just take your time and carefully select and separate the strands, and your hair is going to be fine. So now I don't want you confusing shed hair with breakage, because they are 2 different things. So when you see a lot of shed hair, it's somehow normal, especially when you've carried your hair for like a long period of time. You would see a bigger amount of shed hair, so you just have to be patient with yourself and patient with your hair, because you need a lot of love when you're taking down a long-term protective style. Remember, I still have a video of how I took down my 3 months protective style. You can still go and check that out. I'm really sure that you're going to learn a lot from that, and it's going to help you. So you know what to do. After you have done a protective style for about 3 months, your hair has been deprived of moisture to an extent. Probably you were moisturizing it as your hair was in the protective style, but I don't think that is enough. Your hair has not had like a drink of water directly on its own. So you want to make sure that you are deep conditioning after a long-term protective style, because you want to restore moisture and elasticity to your hair. So remember how I said you will stretch your hair before you do your protective style? And when you do your protective style, one of the things that protective style does is that it keeps the hair stretched. And because it keeps the hair stretched, it helps to retain length. So because your hair is stretched, it's not under any form of tension, make sure it's not too tight. It's not under any form of tension and it is fine. You would get the desired length that you want. Yeah, you want to restore moisture to your dry hair. You want to make sure that the elasticity of your hair comes back. You want to make sure that it is bouncing back every time you take a pull. The shrinkage is up to date, because there is how shrinkage shows how healthy your hair is. So this hair is like this long, like really long, but just look at where it goes up to. Like, it was hanging above my eyebrow before I pulled it down. It's a sign that my hair is healthy because the elasticity is top notch. The elasticity is good. So one of the things that you would notice that your hair is healthy and is not having any form of damage is that the elasticity is still good. See, like springy. So you want to make sure that you deep condition after every protective style, because it will restore moisture to your hair and elasticity. That is all for your before, during, and after. The preparation, maintenance, and takedown processes. Now for the part that you have all been waiting for. The question you have all been asking: how exactly did she use protective styles to grow her hair? I'm here to answer that question, finally. So I will explain to you guys how I use protective styles to grow my hair and how you can also use it to maintain long and healthy hair as well. So I'm using it to grow my hair. I'm also using it to maintain my hair. It's very important for growth and maintenance of hair. So I do something I call protective style in circulation. Yeah, a circle. Now I want you to imagine a circle. Imagine a circle. So now in this circle, I have 3 to 4 protective styles. And this circle spans across, let's say, about a 5-month span. I have 4 protective styles. Now let's just go ahead and put some protective styles into the picture. So we'll be mixing protective styles and low manipulative hairstyles in this circle. Let's start from the beginning of the year, January. So in January, I decided to do box braids. I remember I said a 5-month span. So I decided to carry these box braids for about 2 months. Then I decided to take it down. Now there's one thing you want to note that I have not said in the after part. So after you have deep conditioned your hair and you have washed your hair and restored your hair back to what it would have looked like before your protective style, you want to make sure that you do a low manipulative hairstyle. Something just very, very simple that would not put so much tension on your hair and can give your hair some time to rest, because you had just carried a long-term protective style for about 2 months. You don't want to do that again to your hair immediately. So you want to give it like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even to a month, however you like it. So now in that 2 weeks, I have the option of packing my hair in a bun. I have the option of doing a flat twist style, like maybe an all to the back flat twist style, or cornrows. Those are the 3 things. Between these 2 weeks, now you can now decide to wear your hair out in like a puff, or wear your hair out in an elaborate hairstyle that you want. So during that time, you're kind of giving your hair a break from all the extensions and all of that tension that you had put your hair through for about 2 months. This is the circle going. Now we are around here of the circle. We have 2 more points on this circle. So now after doing that for about 2 weeks, let's say you decide that, okay, after this I'd like to do mini twists. And we all know that mini twists should not be up to 2 months to keep, except you want to start locks. If you want to start locks, you can go ahead. Don't tell me you're doing mini twists for 2 months. In fact, 6 weeks is a lot. Let's say a month, 4 weeks, 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you carry your mini twist. Now in all of these I have said, we have oh, I'm so bad at math. We have carried the hair for about 3 months and 2 weeks. I hope I'm right in this calculation. We have carried our hair for about 3 months and 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm right. So these 3 months and 2 weeks, we have done 3 hairstyles. And we said 5 months, yeah? We have 1 month and 2 weeks left, which is about 6 weeks. After the mini twist, you can now go ahead to wear your hair in cornrows and wear wigs. Alternate your wigs for about a month more before you can now go ahead to do your box braids again. Do you understand now? This is protective style in circulation. If we are calculating that your hair grows half inch every month, it means that ideally in a year, each and every one of us should have about 6 inches of length added to our original length. But many a times we do not see that, because sometimes for some people it's genetic. It's in their genes that their hair don't grow as fast as some other people. But some other people grow as much hair as they are supposed to grow, but because they are not maintaining their hair properly, they lose the amount of hair that they are getting. So how do I use the protective style, you say? So now when I do this in circulation and I've used protective style for about 5 months, I have in these 5 months I would have retained 2.5 inches of hair. And these 2.5 inches I have saved for later, and I'll go ahead to go again in the circle and gain another 2.5 inches. So now let's say in 10 months I decide to now trim my hair. I'll now remove like 1 inch off. When I remove 1 inch off, that's 4 inches. I only lost 1 inch in 10 months. You can see that I was able to manage the amount of hair I was getting, and I was retaining length, and my hair is growing. So it's as simple as that. Just do the math. Arrange your protective styles and plan ahead on what you want to do. Don't be too spontaneous, especially when you want to get your length. It's going to seem like it's too difficult because sometimes you want to do like a lot of other styles you see out there, but not every style is for you, especially when you want to grow your hair. When you want to grow long hair, you cannot be doing every style that is mini. It's not every time that you are doing mini twist. It's not every time you're doing mini braids. You don't want to do everything that is tiny, tiny, tiny. Okay, somebody decided to do 1,000,000 braids and you went ahead to do that as well, and you want to retain length. No. You guys are on separate journeys. You want to make sure that you have what you want and you are planning ahead to get what you want. You can't do what every other person is doing, because your goals and their goals are totally different. So when you want to grow long hair, it is advisable to make sure that your protective styles are in circulation. You are not doing the same thing constantly and constantly and constantly. For instance, if you are doing if today you do shuku, I really don't know what that is called, but maybe I'll just put like a picture somewhere. Like you do shuku today, and then after the shuku, you go ahead to pack your hair in a bun the next month. You go ahead to pack your hair in a bun again the next month. Like you're always packing your hair in high up styles. You would notice that the center of your head, or around that area where you pack, the hair strands there will be shorter than every other side. That's because your hair has been receiving tension in that area, and your hair would react. Wherever your hair receives a lot of tension, there would be signs to show that there is tension in that area. So you want to be careful before you do another protective style. Make sure that in between there is always a low manipulative hairstyle to help you, because low manipulative hairstyles and protective hairstyles have worked together to help me grow my hair. So I really hope that this video has been of great help to somebody today, because honestly, I wish that when I was starting my natural hair journey, I heard this from somebody, but I did not. I figured this out by myself, that arranging my hairstyles in a manner like that has helped me maintain my length and grow healthy hair. So I really hope that this video helps somebody out there. So just go ahead to share it to your friends, share it to people who have issues with growing long hair. They have tried all the products out there in the market and all of that, and they have not seen. Tell them to watch this video. I'm really sure that after watching this video, you get 1 or 2 things that would help you with your natural hair journey and your hair care routine. So without further ado, bye. I'll see you in my next video. And also, if you have any video recommendation, something that you want me to do, something that you are looking out for and cannot find, especially where there is a content gap, where you are not seeing something that you want on YouTube, go ahead to write it down in my comment section and tell me what you need me to do, and I'll be there. I'll try to be there.